well, you have to check it out. Your Encyclopedia Metallum, right?
Yeah.
So is your surname actually White?
Yeah.
Yeah, fucking the T-shirt I'm wearing today is a wrestler, Jay White.
No shit.
No way.
Wow.
Yeah, fucking odds.
That's cool.
That is spooky. Yeah. No, my wrestling career never took off, so he can have it. Fucking.
You can live vicariously through
Yeah,
Jay
exactly.
White.
Yeah.
You should just put it on your encyclopedia entry that you are the same person.
Of Overthrow, of wrestling, whatever. Was it WWE?
He's in AEW now, but he was a Japanese wrestler. He's from New Zealand, but he was wrestling in Japan.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Is he like Maori? Like Maori?
Do you know what? I think he does have some Maori descent. Yeah.
That is cool.
I did that once. I think, like you Google your name and see how many like famous other Jay Whites are there. There's that guy. And then fucking, it's the weirdest thing. So like, our PRA sent us this review that we got. And then immediately underneath our review, there was a thing, Jay White, bassist in some band, dies. I was like, what the fuck? And it was like 2 years ago. And I was like, fucking spooky, man.
Uh-oh.
They have to check you weren't in a Bruce Willis Sixth Sense situation.
Yeah. It's just like following me around, man. Oh well.
Yeah, imagine if all metalheads were dead people. Like, scene ghosts. Anyway, we're recording. Hello and welcome to the Serpent Temple podcast. I am joined by myself, Nina, Floyd, and Jay from Overthrow. Thank you for coming.
Thanks for having me.
There's a pleasure. Should we do a Psycard? I fudged that, but who cares? I was just surprised by the politeness and loveliness of...
I think the bed bugs are getting to Nina.
Oh,
Take me off guard. Just another day. Let's do a Psycard reading. Do you know much about the whole Psycard situation?
A little bit, not much though.
So they're based on Jung's archetypes.
Yep.
So you've got stuff like the Beast and Work and the Voyage, etc., etc. And what we'll do is we'll do probably a 5-card spread. And when we do the spread, I'll explain it to you. But if you wouldn't mind shuffling the cards and tell us about what you do while you do so.
So I play an Overthrow. I'm the vocalist, guitar player, write all the music, and handle all the sort of aesthetics and stylistic elements along with drummer Scott. And doing it since 2011, and got our new EP out. Came out 2 days ago on Redefining Darkness Records, and I'm really fucking pleased with it. So
Hell yeah.
basically me in a nutshell. So
It's a damn good EP as well.
It's a fucking sick EP.
thank you very much, guys.
I'm a sucker for pitch harmonics and death metal as well.
Oh, there you go.
I love that
all across the
first
board.
song where it's like pinching about a lot. Yeah.
Oh, brilliant. Thanks,
It's
guys.
sick. Okay, let's do. If you want to put the cards down, I'll show you where you need to put them. So the first card goes here.
Okay, just there, yeah?
Yeah, and put it face down.
Face down.
We don't want to see it just
Okay,
yet.
just
So
like that.
That will be your past, and then here will be your present.
Okay, again?
Yeah, again.
Okay,
That's going to be your future.
okay.
And
You're just
then
going to be bassist Jay White dies.
No.
just death
And
3
then
times.
becomes a wrestler again. Yeah.
We'll have one here. That'll
Okay.
be your driving force.
Driving force, okay.
Yeah.
All right,
And then one here, which is your goal.
okay.
And do you want to start with the past?
That one,
Yeah.
okay.
The wheel.
The wheel.
I'm going to have a little book with descriptions. I'll
Okay.
read them to you and you can tell me what you think. You can disagree, you can vibe, you can say whatever the hell
Okay.
you like.
Cool.
So the wheel. A water wheel turns in the stream, driving the unseen mill above it, with a strong brick wall shown, whilst golden fish swim among the reeds. This card represents the principle of things endlessly changing, yet forever staying the same. It stands for constancy and persistence.
Yeah, I would agree with that. So is it a case of like, how does that link to
How
sort of,
you as a person, as a musician, like you were saying, you've been a band since 2011, which
Yeah.
is like quite a while now.
yeah, so constancy is certainly the case with us because for me personally, because I've been the only constant member. We've gone through various lineups, incarnations, whatever you want to call it, stylistic developments, I suppose. But I said this on another podcast. I think like the essence of what we do has always remained the same. It's just been a constant evolution and just sort of pushing forward, momentum, etc. I think because I'm the only original member, it's going to sound like Overthrow, no matter what we do, no matter what sort of avenues we go down. And I guess consistency as well. Like, I'm always writing, always recording, always like even before I came here, I wrote a song. So like I'm constantly churning out music, and have been doing so for the past how many years now? 12 years. So yeah, I'd say that's pretty apt.
What was your kind of like introduction into like the heavy metal sphere?
Oh, man, I'm going way back now. Probably like at school, like when I was about 11 or 12, I think the first really heavy band I heard was Slipknot. Iowa came out and I used to listen to that like while falling asleep, like with my headphones on and stuff. And then, yeah, just like grew up on like Metallica and Slayer and Megadeth, just the thrash stuff. And I was really into punk as well at the time as well. So I was really into like bands like Dead Kennedys, Casualties, Sex Pistols, Ramones. And it wasn't until I started playing guitar sort of properly at about 14, then I started to get into like thrash and death and stuff like that. But yeah, it's just evolved constantly throughout the years. But yeah, that's how it started.
It's just so weird because Slipknot as a gateway band just completely passed me by. Like, me and Shem are similar. I think Korn was kind of like the gateway band for us, right? Something about that fucking guitar tone that just appealed to me. But it's funny enough, we saw Slipknot live at Hellfest, and it's like it's been so long. I've had people say to me, "Oh, they're so good live. They're so good live." And to be fair, they were fucking sick.
They were good live.
Yeah.
I didn't get into them either. For me, it was like System of a Down was the new metal gateway for me.
Yeah, System was a big one for me.
Yeah, I never got into Korn or Slipknot.
Nina's got the best introduction ever.
There's Akakocker and System of a Down.
That's fucking cool. That's a good mix.
It was a strange journey, but yeah, worth it.
It's pretty cool.
Do you want to move on to the present?
Yeah, let's do it. That's
the middle
that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
The stars. Okay. Oh, we don't get that one often. So I'll read that to you.
Cool.
The patterns of the aspects of an astrological chart is imposed on the star-studded mystery of a night sky. The stars stand for an individual's deepest aspirations and inner goals, for the heights of intellectual and artistic achievements, together with the external part of our nature. Also represented here is the astrological cycles that we pass through over and over again throughout our lives. There's definitely like a theme of cycles coming on with this.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what to make of that. I guess it could be the whole, sort of what goes around comes around type of vibe. So you're talking about like goals and aspirations. I mean, so certainly like where we are now, currently in the present, we've certainly hit some of our goals, I think. And the things that we've aspired to achieve, we certainly have done in a relatively short space of time. But I think it just comes down to the fact that we have constantly kept the wheels turning, if you like, and constantly putting in the work. And we're in a position now where we've got, management and a label and PR who are working with us, but we're also, I think, working even harder than we had done in the beginning. Because in the beginning, it's all just like, getting gigs together with your mates and, just getting people to show up, which is success as far as you're concerned at that stage. But now we're at a stage now where we, getting into things like Metal Hammer was like a huge, like milestone for us, and like getting a label now, it's like great, so that's the present we're currently living in. So it's definitely, I'd say we've definitely hit some of my early aspirations for sure. So yeah, again, very, very apt. Yeah.
You felt there's been kind of like a clash of sorts? Because I feel like for bands coming up now and like the digital and kind of social media prevalent age, it's different for people that are like our age, where we grew up with like print and stuff and had like aspirations which might not be as tangible as they were.
Yes and no. I think like things like social media, I'm very much of like that generation as well, where it's like, still, I think word of mouth is the biggest platform, the biggest like promotional tool, but then you got things like what you guys are doing, which are obviously hugely beneficial to people like me and other bands. So I think it's like, social media, we all bitch and moan about it, but we all use it because it's a necessary evil, for doing what we do. and it's great for, you know, connecting with other bands. You know, I don't use it for the reasons, you know, other people do, you know, to sort of, you know, advertise themselves, even though obviously, you know, what I do with Overthrow is an extension of me, but I'm using it to push what we do. So, and it's annoying, but like you do it and then it becomes less annoying because you're kind of used to it. It's like the head of the label, he says, look, just treat it like a job, like just 3 days a week, just do some posts, and you know, then it becomes habit and it becomes a routine, and then you think, oh, okay, it's actually not too. I think when you spend too much time on it and like engage too much, then you can kind of lose sight of what it's like. We're a band, we make music, you know what I mean? It's like, I don't want to be a fucking commentator on, you know, social shit. It's like, I'm not really that interested in stuff, that what's going on in the outside world, to a degree. Still aware of it, but like I've still got the blinkers on of like, look, we're a band, we make music, you know. So as long as I'm using things like social media to promote and plug what we're doing currently now and in the future, then it's fine, you know. But I think it's easy for people to lose sight of that, especially our age, like sort of people.
Do you want to move on to the future?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
I don't know yet. Let's see. Let's see what the future's going to hold. Right.
Oh, Union.
I thought I said onion for a second. Your future is going to make you cry.
But it will be delicious.
Yeah.
All right, so it's number 40. Let's read it. Union. A cup stands at the confluence of two streams. This card stands for a coming together, a wedding, or an alliance. The cup is a symbol of celebration and relationships. It is a strong card with a promise of joy and the prospect of a great river deriving from the union. It can also stand for the merging of two up to now separate parts of the personality.
Wow. That's pretty cool. Pretty spooky.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what to make of that, really. Yeah, I like the idea that, you know, there's going to be happiness at the end. That's nice. It's good to know. Yeah, I think it's weird because at the moment now, like, obviously, as the band exists, it's like there's a union in terms of, like, it's like me and Scott, our drummer, like, that's like, we're a partnership. So I think hopefully that will continue into the future. I'm sure it will. But yeah, I'm not really sure what to make of that, to be honest with you. What was the thing about the river? Something.
So I think I'll read it to you one more time. Let me find it. This is actually the last card in the deck. So two streams stands for coming together, a great river deriving from the union. Interestingly, the wheel, it turns in the river as well. So it sounds like it's a real connected continuation.
Oh, okay, yeah. So it probably adheres to the fact that, you know, we've got so much material that I've been working on, like, for the however many years, and obviously during lockdown, I basically spent like 3 months in my room just writing music. So I feel like maybe that links to the fact that we're going to have a constant stream of material, maybe, because we have like the opposite problem that a lot of bands have, where we almost have too much to sort of sift through. So it's like a case of you know, getting songs together and putting them out. But yeah, that sounds pretty positive. So yeah.
I think it can be, because the wheel is like the wheel is a work metaphor. The
right.
wheel, like, that's a difficult thing to do, to churn, to move the wheel, whereas now you're just dipping your cup into the river.
Basically,
so it sounds like it's more about refining your creative process, perhaps.
Sure, yeah. Like I was saying to you before we started, like, you know, we were already like ready. Obviously, we're going to spend a lot of time promoting the EP, you know, gigging off the back of that, but we're pretty much ready to record the second album, like, now. So it's like a case of, again, like you said, that's a good way to put it. Like, we've got the river, we just got to dip from the river. So
yeah.
And direction-wise, second album's going to be in the similar vein to the EP, you reckon? Or?
No, it's going to be different.
Oh,
yeah,
cool.
It's going to be. It's still going to sound, again, because I wrote it, it's going to sound like Overthrow, but it's certainly another evolution of what we've done on, like, first album, EP, but it's a whole fresh batch of songs, exploring different stylistic directions, and there'll be like every song will be different, but it will still sound like us. So So I don't want to give too much away, but yeah.
That's fair enough. It's like I remember when Blood Incantation came out with
Time Wave Zero.
Time Wave Zero. It's just like, man, it's such a
Love
left turn, but
Yeah.
it's done it so well.
I
And the
dug
EP's
it.
like combining both elements of
Yeah.
the fucking
I-
synth stuff.
So good. I love that band so much. Yeah, I respect it when bands will just do what they please and not try and.
Well, that's it. We're
and,
doing what we please, and it's like what pleases us. You know, we're not like, you know, we listen to, me and Scott, we listen to so many different kinds of music and then subgenres of metal and extreme metal. So it's just like, again, whatever we are inspired by at the time, we hit on a groove and we strike while the iron's hot, and I just churn out like 5 or 6 songs and be like, well, there you go. They sound like they belong together. So let's put them out. So yeah, we're at that position now for sure.
But you can always
see.
tell when the band's just actively trying to make a decision to sound like something or aim
Yeah.
to sound right.
Yeah.
You just always seem to tell when it's genuine or not. I always find with bands.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But yeah, again, like we just act on instinct, and we're like, if it moves us, that's the only like success criteria. You know, if we like it, that's it. If other people like it, that's a bonus. You know.
What are you listening to at the moment?
Let's see, I've been listening to a lot of Antichrist Siege Machine recently, and then just stuff I love to listen to recreationally, like Morbid Angel, Dead Congregation. Listening to us quite a bit as well, just 'cause I'm, really excited about all the reviews and all the stuff we've been getting, and then I've just been doing a lot of songwriting recently. It's just listening to us basically. Aside from that, I listen to a lot of I listen to a bit of electronic music as well. I've been really getting back into like Daft Punk and stuff like that.
Oh, sick! Yeah.
I listen to all kinds of music. And who else? I mean, it just depends. Like every day, I'll listen to someone else, someone new, someone else. Like, but listening to the new Cannibal Corpse album, which I thought was really, really good. Celestial Sanctuary, obviously, Frozen Soul. So yeah, it just depends. Some days, it's like food. Some days you want steak, sometimes you want Chinese, sometimes you want death metal, sometimes you want, Tuvan throat singing. It just depends. It depends on your mood. But yeah, that's all that comes to mind at the moment.
Cool.
I mentioned Morbid Angel. I got to ask you, you're a Steve Tucker or a Dave Vincent man?
I'm definitely a Dave Vincent man. However, Gateways is such a fucking good album. I love it. I think it. People, it's Steve Tucker. But come on, Summoning Redemption, man. It's it's one of the best fucking songs. Like, it's just, but gun to my head, David. Covenant is my favorite.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I think I've literally just done a re-listen, and I was trying to build up to get to Elude again. Like I got about 2 songs in, and I was just like, I can't do it. I can't do it.
It's funny. I had this bet with my band members. I was like, if you can get as far as like you possibly can listening to the new 6 Feet Under album, right? I managed to get 2 songs in, and they were like, we can't do it. We
need to do a video on this. Just do a watch along with me and Nina. See how far we get.
That's a great idea.
You'll just be like sweating
Do you
and
like the Chris Barnes drinking game? If you can get as far, it's hysterical. But
Did you see Chris Barnes' list of his favourite death metal vocalists of all time?
no, I haven't.
But he's number 3, which I think is kind of based. I'm just like, hey man, like if. But I think number 1 was Chuck, but it was that man is just so fucking entertaining.
He is, yeah.
But didn't he write like me, lol?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
lol. That's so funny.
It's funny you mentioned Daft Punk as well. Do you know what? Discovery, their second album, was one of the first CDs I'd ever bought. So I had some tapes before.
Oh, wow.
But what I loved about that album is, you ever seen the music videos they had for it? It's like one longer anime.
All the anime stuff.
Yeah.
Like what was it called? Like Digital
It was
Love.
like Interstellar 5555, I think it was called. But
Yeah.
such a cool like concept and idea to like chronicle the whole album with an actual animation. It's so good, so well done.
I just love how well produced the albums are. It's just so despite the fact obviously it's not metal, but like you listen to the production, it's just I've started to become more of a production nerd as I get older, and I record more and more music, and I record at home as well. But I tell you what, Random Access Memories, that's a fucking masterpiece.
Yeah.
It's just got such a great it just ebbs and flows so well, and just the way it's put together, it just reminds me of some of the best albums, like of that era, like the 70s stuff. Like it's just so good, you know. Incredibly well produced. Yeah,
it's so true, because like the amount of times I've listened to an album where I've been like, you know what, this is probably one of the sickest albums ever, but it just sounds dog shit.
Yeah, right. If the songs are good but the production's not there, it loses like half of it, I think. I'd rather listen to an album where it's produced like really well. If the songs aren't amazing, it's like, well, you can tell there's still a lot of fucking great production value on it as well. Obviously when both are great, then hooray. But yeah, I agree.
So I've always said, I think it was you I was having a discussion with about At the Gates before, but I love the early At the Gates albums.
Oh yeah.
And I think if they had to remaster with Fear I Kiss the Burning Darkness, because like it would, I mean, I wouldn't say it'd be as popular as Slaughter of the Soul, because that album's like so seminal and influential to a lot of bands that came afterwards, but the music's so good on those first couple of albums, and it has its own charm, but like I'd just love to hear it kind of like redone.
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe they'll do it one day, you never know.
Yeah, maybe.
Should we go to your driving force?
Yes.
That's the card there.
Driving force there.
Yes.
Okay. Money. Yeah, right. Okay.
Oh, hell yeah. Okay, I'll read it to you.
The best thing about the image on the money card is just it's a barren fucking field.
Yeah. The lack of money is the driving force. Yeah, wow.
A ploughman guides a horse-drawn plough, cutting furrows in the field on a winter's day. In the foreground lie precious silver coins waiting to be discovered. This card stands for the need for money. It also gives the possibility that we may material wealth, whether it is by our own labours, by good luck, investment, or by inheritance.
Okay. Should I turn a bit? Oh yeah. Continuity is very important. Yeah. Money. Well, I would say money is not really a driving force for us at this point, for sure. Having said that, obviously we are, a band, and we have merch and CDs for sale on our Bandcamp. So if you like the EP, please support us. Look, money's nice, but it isn't necessarily, why we do it. It's we do it for the love and just to create. But if money comes as a result of it, then great. But it's never really been a driving force for me. So, having said that, I mean, we're at a position now where like any money that we do make, we put back into the band. So it is kind of like self.
The wheel
kind of like the wheel again,
yeah.
like back to the wheel. But yeah, it's not a driving force for me personally. Don't know about Scott, but yeah, for me personally, it's
Fair enough.
I think I remember hearing once Devin Townsend said that he goes away with about 60,000 Canadian dollars per year. And I remember thinking,
I saw that as well.
Fuck, that's Devin Townsend. I once played that Royal Albert Hall, and like, just shows that like it's tough to make a.
That's like 45k.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's why we all obviously we all have day jobs as well, and I'm fortunate. I love my job, so it gives me the opportunity to. I have that sort of safety net,
fantastic.
which is nice, and then I get time off so that I can pursue, music as well. So.
What do you do? Are you happy to share your day job on the?
Yeah, I'm a teacher.
Oh, amazing! Teach music.
I teach English, and I also do like an after-school guitar club for the kids as well.
That's lovely.
Yeah. I'm trying to raise the next generation of metalheads.
That's right.
But money's nice, but it's not something that we really think about that often when we're, So yeah.
It's a facilitator as opposed to a.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I hear you. Should we go to the future? Or?
Oh yeah, let's do it.
Okay. Feel free to.
I thought that was the future.
Oh no, shit! You're right. Sorry, it's your goal.
My
in
goal.
my head, that's it. That happens in the future, so I just said the future.
Okay.
It's your goal.
All right, goal.
Yeah. Oh,
Sage.
the sage. Okay, all right. Let me read you the sage. This is cool. This is an interesting reading. So, an aged monk sits at his desk making notes and sketches. Maybe this is you putting stuff on Encyclopedia Metallum.
Probably, yeah, sounds about right.
All around him are the artifacts which symbolize ancient wisdom, perhaps vinyl. This card stands for wisdom, learning, or science. It is perhaps advising us to draw on the traditional store of wisdom that has come down through the ages. It stands for received authority, for family tradition, for prudence and professions.
Wow, there's a lot there. So yeah, this idea of like linking wisdom to a goal. Yeah, I guess for me, you know, talking to other bands who have been doing it for a long time, longer than we have. We've been doing it for like 12 years. So I guess you learn through, I guess, talking to other people and people who have done it and people who are continuing to do it. So, you know, I'm always like listening to advice and to, you know, people that have been in the music industry and, you know, been in bands for a long time. Because obviously they can help you, you know, grow in the way that you want to grow as well. And I can't remember what else was said on the there's a lot of.
It stands for received authority, family tradition, prudence, and professions.
Okay.
You spoke about being a teacher, so you literally are a sage in that respect.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really like when I talk to like the people in general, the kids at school. It's just like I talk to them, like just try to talk to them on the level of like, look, this is what I do. This is what I've done, and just, you know, do what you love basically, and listen to people that are doing what you love also, because you're going to learn, and you'll learn something that could potentially help you and hopefully further your goals as well. Yeah, I guess that.
Do you know what? My whole thing with school and the education system was, I wish I had somebody turn around and say to me, look, listen, even if this isn't something you necessarily want to do, whether it be a particular subject, there's still something you could learn and take away from absolutely everything you do in most institutions.
Absolutely.
I think try not to look at it from a linear perspective and saying like, oh, just because you're doing this now, doesn't mean that's the direction you're going in.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's just something you could take from it.
Yeah, exactly. Just because you have to do biology doesn't mean you're going to be a biologist, you know, but you can learn about, you know, the body, you can learn about yourself, you know, you take something away from it, you know, even if you don't particularly enjoy something, you know. Some of it's a means to an end, because I teach English, so you need English in order to leave school sort of legally, and then, you know, most places they want to see that you've got your GCSE in English and maths, so it is a core subject. But like, you know, I love it because, you know, a lot of what I do is I just read stories to kids, and then we have discussions about, you know, themes and, you know, ideas of like, you know, power and all this kind of stuff. So, you know, I think it's what you make of it as well, and you got to realize that, like, I think like, 'cause also being a teacher is almost like being on stage as well. You know, you're in front of a class, there's an audience there, and I'm like giving and it's like the lesson is almost like a set list.
Yeah.
And it's like there are certain points that I want to hit, and it's almost like, even if they don't particularly like it, as long as I can be somewhat entertaining, but also they think. And like, there's always a great moment as a teacher where you can see their eyes light up and it's like, right, something's hit, you know, and then that's the bit that sort of translates. And it's again this idea of passing on wisdom, I suppose. So yeah, and I think it's just one of those weird things. I didn't like plan on being a teacher; it just sort of happened. But it's happened so that I really enjoy it, and I'm pretty good at it, and I work in a really good school as well. So. Yeah, it's just a great profession for me, and again, like I was saying, it facilitates the music as well. So
I suppose the holidays coincide quite well with tours and stuff. Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And it's cool because like I've got friends who are also teachers. I think I was talking to the guy in Coffin Mulch, and I think he does the same. Cool. He does the same thing, and it's like, yeah, man, being a teacher is great because you have, you know, 6 weeks, then you have a break, 6 weeks, then you have a holiday. So. Yeah, it's great, you know.
Yeah, good fucking band as well. They've made some good strides recently.
Yeah.
Is there something you really look forward to teaching, like every year, or the cycles, I guess, of the syllabus?
I really like teaching Macbeth.
Really?
That's fun. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Because a lot of the kids, they always freak out. Oh, Shakespeare, it's going to be really hard. But it's like, yeah, but if you put it into context and then you sort of translate it for them, it can become really fun. And you can do like interactive, sword fights in the classroom and all this kind of thing. So you can be really creative with it. Yeah. And I'm nearly finished doing an Inspector Calls.
Oh my god, I remember doing that. JB Priestley.
Yeah, so that's cool because that's also quite relevant to things that are going on nowadays with class and
like gender and queerness. Yeah.
And what else am I doing? Oh, Animal Farm.
Oh fuck
wow.
yeah!
So
Nice.
love Animal Farm. Yeah. It's great, and the kids really like it. But yeah, you just you're reading from the canon, you're reading like great stories, and trying to make them sort of come to life by putting them into things that are relevant to them nowadays, and then that's how they learn. You sort of contextualize it for now, and then it becomes easier for a kid, especially if it's a kid who doesn't necessarily like English isn't their first language. For example, I got a lot of kids who they don't really speak English at home, and then at school they're exposed to all Orwell and Shakespeare and things, so they freak out a bit because the language is quite hard, a bit archaic. But then it's putting it into their reality or their sort of context, and then they can learn from it. But yeah, it's great. You can just creative with it. So yeah.
Shakespeare's so universal. I love Shakespeare. I was listening to a cosmic chemistry podcast recently, and they were talking about they had a scientist on talking about how Hamlet is actually based on the life of Tycho Brahe, and Shakespeare actually knew loads of stuff about astronomy as well, and like the way he speaks of like the planets and things was actually quite like forward thinking for the time.
Yeah,
it's really fascinating.
It's really cool. Well, it's like with the whole Jungian thing. It's all like Shakespeare deals with archetypes. That's why it's so universal.
Yes.
And it translates. So it's mythology, and he was really well versed in archaic mythology as well, and he put that into all his work. So it translates. So it's quite easy to sort of again put it into context.
Yeah, it's beautiful the way he grasps human psychology across the centuries. It's so cool.
That's it. He's almost like one of the early psychologists, I think.
Truly,
for sure.
Yeah. Like because he explores like gender and class and stuff that's still very relevant today.
Oh yeah, and also people, you look at characters like Lady Macbeth, who was like the opposite of what was expected, how women were expected to behave in that sort of patriarchal, Jacobean society. He's almost like a pioneer for feminism. Yeah. In the way that, she has the power. She's pulling the puppet strings of her husband, who's supposed to be this great warrior, And again, you tell this to the kids, and they're like, oh, wow, yeah, I never thought of it like that. So it's like, again, putting it into modern sort of relevance, I suppose.
Yeah, and like Ophelia being the opposite as well. Her treatment being an example of how awful it is, how women are treated by society.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, cool. We covered Shakespeare.
Yes.
Do you have any remarks?
No. Just I was just gonna say, what was the Shakespeare? I feel it was annoying because when I was in school, I did English for A levels.
Oh, nice.
And we did covered Measure for Measure, which I think is like one of the.
That's the one I don't think I've actually read. I don't think I've ever read.
Have you read Titus Andronicus? That's sick.
Years ago.
That is sick.
We did loads of Shakespeare we did Shakespeare in primary school. The first, because I did, when I was at uni, I did English Lit and I did theatre.
I did English Lit too.
Really?
Yeah.
That's fucking cool. I did theatre as well as English, because for a while I wanted to do acting, but then music obviously took over. But the first play I was ever in was in year 6, and we did A Midsummer Night's Dream, but it was set in the 1960s.
Oh, that's sick.
Ah, cool.
And that was really cool. I played Oberon, who was the king of the fairies, but because it was the 60s, it was King of the Rockers.
Oh, that's so cool.
And I had to go on stage with like a cardboard Stratocaster playing Voodoo Child in front of
Your primary school was way cooler than
pretty
mine.
cool, yeah.
They put me in a sari for our school play.
Really?
I'm not Indian.
Man.
Yeah, we did Oliver Twist. And I remember I think I was like orphan number 7. It's the height of my...
Seventh orphan of the
out of
seventh
2000. Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I was like, great, I don't even need to dress up. I've already got the...
Oh, no. That's hilarious. That's really interesting that you did like the literature and the acting. It all lends itself to the music.
Yeah, just
stage.
I've always been in the creative realm, whatever it is. I wanted to do. I did art at A level for 1 year, and then I failed miserably. And they were like, "No, don't bother," because
Wow.
I spent more time doing things I shouldn't have been doing than actually doing art. Because I wanted to do art, I just wasn't very good at it. But yeah, like reading, writing, music. That's always been my.
I always feel like art was so bullshit in A levels because they were so
Yeah.
obsessed with having it link into another artist.
Yeah.
It was just like, why can't you just do your own shit? Why does it have to have...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why does it have to be aping another artist to get like a good grade? Like it was
Yeah.
always thought it was so backwards.
Squeezing the creativity out of
Yeah.
kids,
Yeah. I always wanted to be like, if I could do art, I'd want to do art like, Geiger.
Oh, Hunt me
Yeah.
exactly the same.
Or,
100%.
Beksinski.
I love Beksinski,
Yeah.
man. Like stuff is just like
It's beautiful.
his
use of
Hieronymus Bosch
space.
and all that kind of stuff. It's
Yeah.
just like incredible.
The
But
crazy artists.
yeah, you're just like, there's no way like
They
I'm
wouldn't let you.
ever gonna be as good as no matter how many drugs I do, it's never gonna be, I'm never gonna be that nuts.
I think you've got to be
yeah.
fucked in your soul
Oh
to be
yeah.
able to produce
Totally.
something like the bacon stuff, like the triptych.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
and like just like Hieronymus Bosch, was it like 1400s? I've probably got.
Yeah.
You look at it now, and even now it's disturbing.
Yeah.
It's like back then, you would have just been burnt at the fucking stake, man. Like, Jesus Christ.
But speaking of art, do you know who was at fucking Bloodstock and I didn't get the chance to meet them? Because I couldn't find what time they were going to be in like the gallery bit. Dan Seagrave that done all the classes.
Oh wow, yeah.
And I was just like, fuck, I would have loved to have met him because
Yeah.
his art was so sick. He's done so many iconic death metal album covers.
Yeah. I guess because were Memoriam at Bloodstock? No, they were at Health. I can't remember anything anymore.
God.
I'm sure one of his album cover bands were playing Bloodstock this year.
I'm sure, yeah.
That's
yeah.
a given pretty much anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. I want to see how all this transpires now.
Yeah, we'll have to have you on and see if you've become like a monk.
Yeah, next
Yeah.
week. Are you rich?
How's the river flowing? Yeah.
Got your
it was a
onions?
pleasure. It was a pleasure having you on. Thank you so much.
It's been a pleasure being here. Thank you so much, guys. Really appreciate it. I had a good time.
It was wonderful. Do you have any final remarks you'd like to say to the listeners and watchers?
Thanks for watching. Again, our EP came out 2 days ago. It's called Ascension of the Entombed. It's on Redefining Darkness Records. You can purchase it on our Bandcamp as well as our merch. And we've got our next gig is coming up on the 9th of December. We actually got a gig on the 7th of December at the Dev, and then we got this gig coming up on the 9th of December, supporting Evil alongside Burner and Inquire Within. Come down and see us live, and thanks again for watching.
Bye.
Till next time.